was really hot last summer, and actually it was a bit hotter than what we've had so far this summer. This summer mostly, if you've noticed, it's certainly hot, it's humid, but we have had the daily downpours. Actually, most days this summer, there's been some sort of rain around helping us out. However, we're about to get into some of the hottest weather that we've seen so far this summer. As I mentioned, our highest temperature so far is 97. This is at the airport, and that was on July 5th. And I have a 97 in the forecast on Tuesday. We might even surpass that a couple of days. So we're not really talking so much about 100 degrees, but more very, very close to it, I think, in the next several days. Really through Wednesday, it looks especially hot with less rain. As we move into the latter part of the week, Thursday and Friday, we will have a higher chance of rain, maybe even late Wednesday, because of some different features coming into play at the end of the week that'll switch us over back to the more rain and less heat kind of setup. But certainly the heat is going to be the thing, I think, for the next several days. For today, we made it to 96. The record high was 98. Tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday, I have us all of those days around 97, 96 maybe for the highs. And as I mentioned, maybe a bit above in some spots. And you can see our records are about 99 through Tuesday, and then Wednesday 101. So we'll be pretty close to those record highs in the next several days. Today, 2 degrees away at the airport. Temperatures right now back in the 80s after that really hot and very kind of a long heat stretch that we had in the afternoon. We did have a couple of small showers and storms here and there, but not a whole lot. Our feels like temperature still stuck in the 90s, and our wake up forecast is expected to be in the 70s, probably still feeling like 80s, and tomorrow's high about 96, feeling like up to 110. So that's why that heat advisory is in effect. Precision cast showing tonight and into tomorrow pretty quiet, although a couple of showers might try to bubble up here and there. If you do get one, you might be one of the lucky ones, because the rest of us are just going to be baking all afternoon. And then as we get towards sunset, any rain out there should finish up. You guessed, I'm sure, the culprit, the big high, the big swirly H that we get over us at points in the summer. We had a lot of this going last summer, and I mean, some summers we get this pattern where it just sits over us, and we have upper 90s for several days in a row. Not really so much this summer. What we're going to see, though, at the end of this week is this shifts off to the north just enough, kind of nudges off to the north there, and lets some moisture ride along the Gulf Coast yet again. So you can see available moisture in the atmosphere. Still not a very moist setup. It'll still be humid at the surface, but not a whole lot farther up in the atmosphere on Monday and through the middle of the week. But here comes that deep tropical moisture and the oranges showing up along the Gulf Coast as we get into the end of the week. So already on Wednesday and on Thursday, we're highlighted for at least part of our area and much of the northern Gulf Coast at a low end risk for some flooding rain. That would be your quick downpours that can bring a couple of inches of rain. It looks like the next 7 days, maybe about 3 to 4 or so inches of rain for a lot of our spots. Depends on whether you get one of these downpours or not, but the rain chance will be going up, I think, especially Thursday and Friday, and maybe staying somewhat elevated by Saturday and Sunday. Talking about all the rain that we've gotten so far, we've had since June 1st, just talking about that part of the summer until now, 36 of the 50 days have had some form of rain, whether a trace amount or higher. So that's more than 70% of the days so far this summer that we've had rain around. Rainfall at the New Orleans airport at Kenner, by the way, since June 1st has been close to 14 inches and the average about 12 inches. Looking at the tropics very quickly, talking about that this week, there's one spot highlighted from the National Hurricane Center, and it's this tropical wave in the central Atlantic. Low 10 to 20% or so chance of development, and you can see it tracking here toward the Caribbean, but there's actually a lot of dry air out here and not very favorable conditions for this to actually develop. Notice another wave moves out by the end of this week, but this one too, if we kind of go ahead with our models and just kind of take a look at what might happen. Too far out to say for sure, of course, but with that dry kind of hostile environment, we'll see some waves come, but I don't think they're really going to get a chance to develop or organize very quickly. So that's why that low end chance out there. Otherwise, we don't have any tropical threats. We will get some tropical moisture, though, in the form of those showers, it looks like, and a few storms Thursday and Friday. Quick downpour or 2 will be possible. And then by the weekend, we'll keep a near 40% or near average chance for a few scattered storms. But look at the big break in the heat that rain will bring.